topic na naman natin si Senator Imee. Again, hindi ako hater ni Senator Imee, by the way. May mga nagsasabi, oh, hater ka na ngayon ni Senator Imee. Dati hindi naman. Hindi naman ako hater ni Senator Imee, but I would admit that I'm really, really, really disappointed. Masama bang ma-disappoint? Masama bang ma-disappoint? Siyempre hindi. Nakaka-disappoint kasi Senator Imee. Sarili niyang kapatid, di niya mapagtanggol. Pero yung yaya sisterhood niya, wagas ang pagtatanggol. Diyos ko. Adoptive father niya, wagas na pinagtatanggol. Oh, mga kapatid niya sa labas, pinagtatanggol niya. Diba? Grabe siya. Nakaka-disappoint talaga. She chose her side and she is sticking by it. Ewan ko ba? Ewan ko, baka panoorin na lang natin. Ito gagawin natin, panoorin natin yung interview niya kanina. Ni-interview kasi siya kanina sa sa ANC. Tapos, ito yung sinabi niya. Isasalba daw niya ang Uniteam. Chinese name ito, Imee. As in A-I-M-I. Imee. Kita ako dito kay Rene. Imee. Chinese name niya. O, yan. Inihayag ni Senadora Imee Marcos na gagawin niya ang lahat para maisalba ang Uniteam kasabay ng pagsabing hindi niya matanggap na unti-unting nasisira ang alyansa sa pagitan ng mga Marcos at Duterte. Sabi niya, let's be candid. I will do anything to salvage the Uniteam. Remember, I am also apparently the author of the Uniteam. Totoo naman yun. Tama naman yung claim niya na yun. Walang mali dun. Ipaglalaban ko ang pagkakaisa ng Marcos at Duterte because Vice President Sara has actually said and revealed that I brought her in and convinced me to be the running mate of my brother. Sabi niya. And as she got roped in, we determined to coin the name, apparently for me as well, Uniteam. And I'm determined to salvage whatever shreds remain of that unity. Ayan. At bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating next topic, as usual, mag-shoutout muna tayo sa mga kaibigan natin sa Sendwave! Yan. Kung kayo ay nasa US, UK, Canada, Italy, France, Spain, Ireland, and Belgium, ay pwede na magpadala ng inyong mga remittances sa Pilipinas gamit ang Sendwave. Gagawin nyo lang, i-download ang Sendwave app, gawa kayo ng account, at lagay nyo ba account details dyan. At pwede na magpadala sa GCash, sa mga bangko, at iba't ibang mga pawn shop sa bansa. At kapag ginamit nyo pa ang promo code na Coach Jarret, makakuha kayo ng karagdagang $20 free credit. Kaya gamitin na po si Sendwave for all of your remittance needs. Dadaan nyo kami sa drama-drama eh. Alam nyo kasi, Senator Imee, with all due respect, and I think, alam naman ni Senator Imee kung paano ako gumawa ng content eh. With all due respect, we would have respected your position more if you defended your brother and VP Sara. Kung Uniteam talaga ang pinagtanggol mo. Pero hindi. Hindi mo pinagtanggol yung Uniteam. Ang pinagtanggol mo si VP Sara. Iniwan mo yung kapatid mo sa ere. Natural, yung mga sumuporta sa Uniteam, lalo na ako, na hindi ko talaga binitawan yung Uniteam hanggat hindi ko talaga nakikita na bitak-bitak na yan. Madi-disappoint sa'yo. Eh, ikaw ba naman maglabas ka ng statement, through thick and thin, I will stand by the Dutertes. Ha? Bakit? Bakit Dutertes? Ito pa sinabi niya. Ito binanggit ko na to kahapon eh. I-reinforce ko lang ngayon. Sabi niya, indeed, I am the president's sister. I am also a senator whose bounden duty is to protect and defend the Constitution and the Republic. I'm also a mother. So like you, we have a stake in the future of our children. And let's not forget, I am the daughter of Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. I am his firstborn. And I will never, never allow the Marcos administration to be used once again, to once again besmirch his name and ruin his legacy. Wala namang sumisira sa legacy ng Apolacay. In fact, marami pa nga rumerespeto sa pangalan ni Apolacay hanggang ngayon. Kaya nga nagtatago kayong dalawang magkapatid sa likod ng pangalan niya. Pag nababati ko sila, pinan nyo. Ito tinan nyo, nung kampanya, nung campaign, sino ang nagdala kay PBBM? Pangalan ng tatay niya. Yung legacy ng tatay niya. Bakit yun ang binibira ng mga kalaban ni PBBM nung panahon ng kampanya? Bakit ang binibira yung estate tax? Ang binibira yung mga achievement ni Apolacay, puro graft and corruption, martial law, etc. etc. Ang number one pang bira kay PBBM dati is anak siya ni Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. Bakit? Kasi nga, yan din ang dahilan kung bakit siya binoto ng taong bayan. Gusto natin magkaroon ulit ng isang katulad ni Ferdinand Edralin Marcos diyan sa loob ng Malacanang. So, nung kampanya, nagtago sa likod ni Apolacay. Binoto natin lahat. Ngayon, binabati ko si Senator Imee, anong sasabihin niya? I am the daughter of Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. Ay sana po, naisip niyo po yan bago po kayo kumampi sa mga Duterte. Bago niyo po sinabi na through thick and thin, I will support the Dutertes. Nakakasama ng loob to si Senator Imee, ha? Promise. Ngayon yung sasabihin, I'm the daughter of Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. Bakit? Alam kasi nila na yung mga taong nakakakilala kay Apolacay, siya yung nirerespeto. Tapos ngayon magtatago na naman sa likod ni Apolacay. And ito lang if you need to remind people who you are, then you're not actually acting like who you are. Katagalog, kung kailangan mong ipaalala sa mga tao kung sino ka, then hindi ka talaga kilala ng mga tao. Apolacay card. Parang yan parang sa mga boss nyo, sa kumpanya. Kung kailangan mong sabihin na, ako boss mo, makinig ka sa akin. Hindi ka boss. Hindi ka boss. Kailangan mong paalala sa tao na ikaw yung amo Kailangan mong paalala sa tao na ikaw yung boss Hindi ka boss. It's the same thing. Kung kailangan mo ipaalala sa tao na anak ka ni Ferdinand Edralin Marcos, baka hindi ka talaga nakikita ng taong bayan na anak ka ni Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. At hindi ako naniniwala sa mga conspiracy theory na anak siya sa labas, etc. etc. Hindi ako naniniwala doon. It's more of how she is behaving right now. Kung paano siya gumagalaw ngayon. Na parang iniwanan niya yung kapatid niya sa ere. Iniwanan niya yung pamilya nila sa ere. Simpleng suporta sa kapatid, hindi magawa Okay, puntahan natin yung And then, nung nabasa ko to, may nagsend sa akin nito kanina Sabi niya, Coach, mukhang napanood yata yung video mo kagabi. Yan ang sabi. Isip ko naman, baka naman hindi, baka yan lang talaga naramdaman niya, di ba? Wag tayong mag-assume. Yun ang sabi ko. Pero to yung interview niya kanina. Pasensya na mga Coach, medyo mahaba to 16 minutes. Para lang natin. Para lang alam natin kung ano yung totoong kwento dito sa balita ni Abante. Sa balita ni Abante, guys. Okay, tuloy natin to.
The president had his own rally in the Philippines or People's Gathering, and former President Duterte had also his own gathering in Davao, in which the vice president shuttled, in both gatherings, frankly, but you were in Davao. So now there seems to be a declaration of war. The Dutertes are now united. The former president, Vice President Sara, Mayor Baste, you've heard the accusations against your brother, and even Pantaleon Alvarez, who was once in opposition with the vice president on Head Start, said kakampihan niya yung taga Mindanao. So you have the Dutertes all united, and Ronald Llamas has said on Head Start, the Dutertes really pose a threat to President Marcos Jr. What are your thoughts?
Well, the Davao rally was scheduled way in advance. And
Advance ba
let me be
talaga?
candid, I will do anything to salvage the Uni team. So that was my entire purpose, to go to Davao, attempt to speak to the Dutertes, and of course, chat with VP Inday, whom I haven't seen for a bit.
Yeah.
So it's very, very clear that my effort was simply to try and patch things up, because to my mind, the principals continue to work with each other very happily, except when interference from so many other pressures, influences, and other politicians come in. That's the problem. So I think saying
Nagsasawa na ako dito sa mga sinasabi ni Senator Imee na sinisisi lagi ibang tao. Alam nyo, mga kotsero, at this point, kapag nagpapapressure pa rin sila sa mga tao nakapaligid sa kanila, hindi ba kasalanan na nila yun? Why don't you umpisa tayo sa square one, no? Start tayo sa accountability. Start tayo sa accountability. At kung meron ding kung nakikialam in her mind kasi nakikialam daw kasi si Martin Romualdez at iba pa, whoever they are. Pwede rin kasing nakikialam din tong kabila. Si Digong tsaka yung kung sino pa. Pero dun sa kabila, dun kala Digong, meron siyang paliwanag, meron siyang excuse.
that the Dutertes are now one against the Marcos administration is oversimplifying things a little bit. The vice president already issued a statement saying that she's grateful and to the president for his support and continues to abide by the 8-point agenda. She also said that she is not in agreement with all her relatives either. So there's the two of us now who are not really in agreement with many relatives, but it's not impossible. There is no need to be cookie cutter Xerox copies of each other. We can still work together. Regarding the accusations, you'll have to steer me away from drugs dahil wala talaga ako.
Tsaka wag na natin iuwi doon. Wag na natin iuwi doon kasi nauwi sa ganun discussion eh. Oo, diba?
Kaya ako na sila mag-bakbakan dyan kasi talaga ako wala akong alam. What
Okay.
heart-wrenching for
Ay, nawala ba kayo wala siyang alam? Ay, nawala ba kayo wala siyang alam? Kapatid ka, hindi mo alam. Anyway. O sige, sabihin natin wala talaga siyang alam. Sabihin natin, assuming na wala talaga siyang alam. Pati na niya sabihin, hindi totoo yan. Never kong nakita. Hindi totoo yung sinabi ni Digong, wala akong alam. Pwede naman ganun eh. Wala akong alam na pagkakataon na nabalitaan, naamoy, nakita ko ang aking kapatid, ang aking ading na nag-cocaine. It's a categorical denial. She can't do that.
me is the separation of Mindanao from the rest of the
Yeah.
Philippines.
But you see,
Nakakasakit naman yun, pero
Okay.
I know where it's coming from. I know exactly where it's coming from because I've been to Mindanao so many
Laging
times.
meron siyang
I'm
excuse, no?
Ilocana.
For the
And
Dutertes.
I've seen the roads in Ilocos Norte in stark contrast to the historic injustice
Yeah.
of Mindanao.
no, you're bringing this up, but former President Duterte was in power 6 years. He's from
6
Mindanao. Right, why didn't they could have done more in Mindanao?
Exactly.
They did a great deal in Mindanao. Davao
What?
is stunning and it's
Yes.
so well developed and
Davao.
planned. And really, 6 years against the centuries upon centuries of deprivation,
But
neglect,
if
and
one visits
ignorance.
Marawi, if one visits Marawi,
51 billion nga lang first district eh. Hindi ko naiintindihan talaga. Na-improve naman daw ang Davao. Oh, yun nga, Davao lang. 51 billion nga, first district ng Davao eh. Ay, bihira akong kumampi kay Karen Davila, pero tama yung punto ni Karen Davila dito. Oo, 6 years ang umupo. Ay, oo, 6 years umupo si Digong, ba't hindi niya na-improve ang Mindanao? Tama ka, Ronald Osorio, Davao is not the whole of Mindanao. Hirap ipagtanggol si Digong, no?
none of the residents are back in ground zero. I mean, but let's not get into this economic Mindanao debate. That number one, bringing up the secession of Mindanao, Senator, isn't this to make a point that I will cause you trouble? That's the message. I will cause you trouble, Mr. President. I will be the pebble in your shoe for 4 more years.
I don't
Right.
like to see it as a threat because, Karen, I've heard this secession of Mindanao many, many times.
In fairness, matagal na yan.
Sheer frustration and anger at the abject lack of equity, of injustice, really. It's been historical, and every Mindanaoan will tell you the same. And anyone from Luzon, like me, from the far reaches of Ilocos, then see the stark contrast. It's painful. It's unacceptable. And I understand. And
Yes,
even
Sorry natitrigger talaga ako pag kinukumpara yung Mindanao sa ibang lugar. So kinumpara sa Ilocos, but ang ganda-ganda no ng Ilocos, etc., etc. Ang Mindanao, ang pangit-pangit, etc., etc. So it's a problem of governance, don't you think? Problema na siya ngayon ng gobyerno, ng pamamahala ng gobyerno. Sino ba namamahala ng LGU dun? Sino bang humihingi ng mga budget para ipagawa sa ang lugar nila? Naka 51 billion nga ang first district ng Davao eh. 51 billion, guys. 51 billion B. Capital B. 51 capital B. Ilyon. 51 billion ang first district ng Davao. At sinabi ni Karen, 6 na taon nakaupo si Digong bilang presidente ng Pilipinas. Presidente ng buong Pilipinas. Hindi man lang niya na-improve ang Mindanao.
Agree with the former president's proposal?
No, I don't agree. And as I said, it's heart-wrenching. I hope it never happens. It's horrible to think that
But I understand.
The republic
Diba?
will be eviscerated, our entire archipelago, divvied up. And I also know and understand, even if I don't accept, the
I understand.
call of Mayor Baste Duterte regarding the president's
The
resignation.
resignation.
Right. I wasn't there. I had gone somewhere else in Davao to have a meal or something, and I was very taken aback. I think it came as a surprise. When I saw him later on, he said, "I'm very sorry," and I know where it came from. Talaga naman masisindak ka at sasakit ang loob mo kapag narinig mo, ikukulong ba naman yung tatay mo, ikukulong din yung ate mo, talaga magagalit ka. So, I know of that place where he's coming from.
Okay, now,
So, I haven't lost hope. I continue to pray that we can put things together and that the unit team in some form or other will continue to survive and help the country in the future. Ang laking bagay. If we
Senator Imee, can you
we could
confirm
really
this?
develop.
Okay, my sources tell me that you can correct me if this is wrong, that at one point, former President Duterte wanted to speak with President Marcos Jr. And I'm not sure if you were the conduit to that. Was there an attempt like that and the president declined it?
Oh, I recall that the
Tama ka, James Bong. Mas inunawa pa niya yung Duterte kaysa kay presidente. Yun yung naririnig ko kanina the whole time. Kaya hindi na ako nakatingin eh. Binabasa ko na lang yung mga comments eh. May binlock ako isa kasi nag-flood. Wala namang kwenta yung comment niya. Hindi, sorry siya. Ayun. Buti pa sa ano, no? Buti pa sa Duterte understanding si Senator Imee. Buti pa sa Duterte, no? Tuloy natin.
president actually met my brother for a long meeting last year. And my brother, we saw him after because there was a dinner with the senators, quite late, as a matter of fact, because they had spoken for so long. And it was about the West Philippine Sea and how to establish good relations with both the United States as well as
But what
China.
about the ICC? I wanted to ask senators, some are saying that really what's pushed the
I think
former
what
president
is not
through this
pushed
is the ICC issue.
Yes, what was not pushed through was the meeting that I think President Duterte announced he needed or wanted to have with the president regarding the closure of SMNI. As regards the ICC, I don't recall that there was a meeting requested. But I do get puzzled. I am confused by the stand of the administration.
See?
The president says 100% no. The DOJ says, well, if they come, we'll entertain them. Or they're just here as, I'm not sure, observers. Ano yung parang turistang namasyal, pero ini-interview yung mga testigo. Nalalabuan ako eh. Gusto ko talaga marinig kung ano eh.
So, ba't hindi mo intindihin yung sinabi ng kapatid mo? Siya naman yung presidente ng Pilipinas. Si Boying Remulla ba ang presidente ng Pilipinas? Hindi. Sino bang sinusunod ng DOJ? Presidente ng Pilipinas. O ba't hindi mo na lang paniwalaan yung sinasabi ng kapatid mo? Hindi naman kailangan malito eh. It's so simple, guys. It's so simple. Lord Alan Gutierrez Tomines. Salamat sa yung stars. God bless po. Di ba? Why care about the opinions of other people? Eh, presidente yung kapatid mo. Sinabi na ng presidente, hindi makikipagtrabaho sa ICC. Diba? Yung sentimiento ni Baste na binabastos yung kapatid niya, naintindihan niya. Pero yung sinabi ng kapatid niya na hindi pa papasukin ng ICC, may question mark pa rin.
Oh, so clearly,
Para sa akin,
okay. Let me
the entry of the ICC is a real affront to our judiciary, to our justice system, and to our sovereignty as a nation. I think we should
Agree din naman
oppose
ako
it
dun.
with every bone in our body.
Agree ako doon. Tama siya
But do
doon.
you think that's the trigger? That's what's pushing the former president to now behave this way?
Well, there's no telling, even by his own children, what President Duterte will do. He's a real street fighter. So what the triggers are, we're not always clear, but I'm certain that the ICC is among them. Certainly the inclusion of others, 2 senators, as a matter of fact, 2 colleagues, both Senator Bato, Senator Bongo, as well as the Vice President, complicates the matter even further.
Okay. Now, at one point, November 8, 2023, you were quoted as saying, you were in the Senate, through thick and thin, I'll stick with the Dutertes, right? You said this last year.
Yes, I will never forget, and I will always be grateful for President Duterte final allowance of my father's being buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. So, malaking utang ng loob namin doon at hindi ko kailanman makakalimutan yan dahil hindi naman popular yun na desisyon. Talagang naglustay rin siya ng political capital dyan. Maraming galit, maraming nagsasabi, hindi tama. So I'm very grateful for that. Maliban doon, hindi dahil kaibigan ko, no? Although kaibigan talaga namin yan, maliban doon, talagang kaibigan ko sa pananaw. Like my father, he is very insistent on an independent and sovereign foreign policy. He's very proud to be Filipino. So,
But so you don't agree, but you don't agree with with your brother's foreign policy now?
Well, I have issues with allowing all the EDCA sites, officially 5 plus 4. Many say it's actually 17. I think they will be targets for unnecessary attack by other powers. And we have no fight with anyone, neither China nor the United States. But on the other hand, neither should we be compelled to choose between the two. Hindi naman
Okay.
natin
So,
kaway.
my question is,
Galit sa US pero okay lang West Philippines ibenta sa China. Diyos ko, ang weird. I don't understand. Ako hindi ko na siya maintindihan. Dati madali siyang mabasa eh. Ngayon wala. Bahala siya. Diskarte niya sa politika yan. Bahala siya.
Right to survive.
but
Why
do you agree more do you agree more with former President Duterte's foreign policy on China?
I agree with President Duterte's foreign policy that is independent and sovereign. I do not see him as having been the lawyer for China.
He is.
Many people perceive that, but to me, the propaganda has become virulent these days. Let us remember, we are a small, struggling island country.
Bilis magtanggol kay Digong talaga. Ang bilis. Gabi, galing.
And China will always be our neighbor. They're a huge trading partner. We have no fight with them. Ang lapit-lapit po ng Ilocos Norte sa Taiwan. Ang takot ko lang, huwag tayong madadali. Let's not get dragged into a fight that's not our own. We cannot be a proxy for anyone.
All right.
And as much as we have cultural and emotional ties, even family ties with the United States, let us remember that their wars are not ours.
Okay. Now, when push comes to shove, I think the question now is, who will Senator Imee Marcos support? I mean,
Yes, like the United
are you
States
going to
and China.
stand by your brother? Are you going to
Yes.
stand by the president?
I will stand by what is right. I think that I was taught well by my father. And first there is God, then there is country, and then there's your family. So that order will have to be upheld. And ganyan talaga eh. Yung mali, mali. Yung tama, tama. Mahirap man, talagang tuloy-tuloy na lamang yan. Talagang tiisan tayo.
Hindi ko. Tira nyo ha. Lahat ng batikos kay Digong pagtatanggol niya. Nakita niyo, kaya ako pinapapanood sa inyo to eh. Itong interview na to. Para makita nyo yung nakita ko. Na kapag binabati ko si Digong, tanggol agad siya. Tanggol agad. Pag polisiya naman ang kapatid niya, kontra agad siya. Kitang-kita, di ba? Kaya ako pinapanood sa inyo itong interview na to. Para hindi na lang siya kwento-kwento para sa atin lahat. Reality na siya. Tapusin natin.
Naman natin, napakahirap. Pero kailan ba dumanas ng madali ang isang Marcos?
Okay, you are seen right now by some as a house divided, although you are hailed as being independent. So personally, as a senator, I've read the
Independent
comments on social media, and you are being praised for your independence. But then, politically speaking, you have some that have said the Marcoses are a house divided, unlike the Dutertes today. Your thoughts on that?
I think we're oversimplifying and
Yeah,
attempting to
oversimplifying.
paint a contrast that's not really there. As I said earlier, Vice President Sara once more last night reiterated that she doesn't abide by all the opinions and feelings expressed by her family members. And in fact, she is proud to work alongside my brother and supports the agenda wholeheartedly.
Palit na lang kaya kayo. Siya na lang kapatid ni PBBM.
VP at talagang tumatalima siya sa paniniwala ng kapatid ko. Ako naman, hindi naman ako tumututol, sabihin natin. Hindi ako nakikipag-away, miski kay speaker. I'm just giving advice, pinapayuhan ko lang at pinagsasabihan kasi ako ito eh. I have to express this and I think it's unnecessary to be misleading, deceiving, and even inducing poor and ignorant Filipinos to sign something they don't understand.
Okay, my last question, we don't have enough time, but you could have gone on for 2 hours, frankly, is this. If the president is watching now, I know you haven't seen him in a while. Well, he's just probably come back from Vietnam. I think that's the latest report, right? What is your message to President Marcos Jr.? Because you would want him to succeed. So what is your message to him?
Well, I've said it time and again, to stand firm and put an end to this PI that they started. Until now, he says that we need to study it, consult legal luminaries. The COMELEC on its own has also said that the signatures are still alive. There's no deadline, there's no expiry date. They can be reused and recycled for a future effort. Naku, wag naman isang tabi na yan. It was illegally, unconstitutionally obtained. Huwag tayo papayag. So perhaps he can make a very firm and clear-cut stand, put an end to the PI, and let's do this properly together. And there will be no controversy. Also, with the ICC, let's have the DOJ and all their employees, undersecretaries, and what have you, echo the president's message that there should be an end to this. This should be clear. Government can't go rogue and everyone is just saying different things. It is most confusing for us and most of all for foreign investment. Business does not like unpredictability, unreliability, changes that come from nowhere. So yun na lang, siguro sasabihin ko, magalit ka na, bongbong. Ilang beses ko na sinabi yan. Magwala ka na, mabait ka masyado, pero kapag ang isang tao ay mabait, hindi naman dapat sinasamantala. Di ba?
Okay, babae dyan, guys. Okay, babae dyan. Well, so now you know what I'm trying to say. Ilang araw ko na sinasabi to eh. Ilang araw ko na pero itong interview na to was, it's a revelation. Yun na lang nga sabihin natin dyan. It's a revelation. Revelation. Kita nyo naman eh. Nung binabatikos ni Karen si Digong, todo tanggol si Sen Imee. Tapos pag tinatanong si Sen Imee tungkol sa mga issues na ay presidente, change topic. Hindi niya direktahin ang sagot. Marami magtatanggol. Kasabihin, hindi lang plastic si Sen Imee, etc. Wala problema. Hindi naman yung pagiging plastic o hindi ang pinag-uusapan dito eh. Ang pinag-uusapan dito kasi is what's really wrong? Ano ba talaga ang mali sa ginagawa ni PBBM? Take note wala akong pake sa ginagawa ng mga nasa paligid niya. Pero yung presidente, anong mali ang ginagawa niya? Linawin niyo sa amin. Kasi puro insinuations lang naman eh. Ang sinasabi lang nila, inuuto kasi ni Martin Romualdez. Inuuto kasi ni Lisa ng asawa, si Lisa. Inuuto ng kung sino-sino. Really? Do you really think as a sister, as the presidential sister, naniniwala ka doon? Kaya hindi mo siya kaya ipagtanggol? Sabihin nyo na lang yung totoo. Yung sa drugs, yung sa cocaine. Ba't ayaw mo sagutin ng rekta? Ayaw mo sabihin, bakit? Hindi ko naiintindihan eh. Kapatid ka, tapos hindi mo mairekta. Tapos sasabihin pa na turo ng tatay ko, God, country, and family. Okay. But you cannot deny na family matters as well. And at times, lalo na kung may mali, wala akong problema dun eh. Yung kapag merong maling ginagawa, batikusin mo. Tama lang yun. Walang mali dun. Pero ba't pag yung mga Duterte ang mali, hindi mo mabatikos? Baka sobrang bait lang din talaga ng kapatid mo. Kaya siya lang ang binabalingan mo ng inis. Ba't di mo rektahin yung talagang kinakagalitan mo? Rektahin mo na yung mga kinakagalitan mo kasi. And don't imply, wag niyo pong ipakita sa amin na ang kapatid mo, it seems that you are agreeing that what other people are saying about your brother is true. Kasi, ano ba, will silence means yes? Dito sa sitwasyon na to? I don't know. Will silence mean yes? Maybe. Are you trying to salvage your political career in 2025 and in 2028? Yung alyansa nyo ni VP Sara? Yun ba ang pinangahawakan nyo? Tuloy nyo yung ginagawa nyo ngayon. Wala kayong alyansang pag-uusapan in the future. Kasi masisira ang political career nyo pareho. Masisira ang political career nyo pareho. Siguro, what we're asking, what we're asking is a little bit of, fairness. Siguro yung fairness na lang. Or yung pagiging lang ba? Yung pagiging, consistent. Kung mali yung ginagawa ng isa, dapat mali sa lahat. Kung mali yung PI ni Martin Romualdez, dapat mali rin yung PI ni Digong. Kung mali yung pakikipag-alyansa sa US, dapat na ginagawa ni PBBM, dapat mali rin yung ginawa ni Digong na nakipag-alyansa sa China tapos wala tayong napakinabangan. Dapat mali rin yun. Hindi rin dapat katanggol-tanggol yun. Kung naiintindihan mo si Baste, kung bakit siya nagagalit sa administrasyon, siguro naman mas madaling intindihin yung mga bagay na sinasabi na mismo ng kapatid mo. Unless naniniwala ka na hindi niya paninindigan yung mga sinasabi niya. Diba? Tapos magtatago uli siya sa salita na, I am the daughter of Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. Lest we forget, I am the daughter of Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. So please, live up to the name. Live up to the name. Ganon din kay Presidente. Live up to the name. I hope one of these days but I doubt it will happen. I doubt na mangyayari itong hino-hope ko. But I hope one of these days she will wake up and smell the coffee. Kasi I don't know. Kasi nakaka-contribute siya sa pagdi-disturb sa kapatid niya. Sana ma-realize niya yun. Sana ma-realize niya yun. Nakaka-contribute siya. Siya mismo, kapatid, nakaka-contribute siya sa pag-destabilize ng administrasyon ng kapatid niya. So, mga kotsero, hanggang dito lang po muna tayo, ha? Huwag niyo pong kalimutan mag-like, mag-share, at mag-subscribe sa Coach Jarret YouTube channel. At magkita-kita po tayong bukas muli sa Coach Jarret Live. God bless you. And see you next time, guys. Bye!